Hello and welcome to the True Crime Never Sleeps podcast. I'm your host, Larry Lace. First, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Hunt a Killer. Use code TCNS for 20% off your first box. Go to huntakiller.com. Also, Poddex. Save 10% off your order using promo code TCNS at poddex.com. So today we're discussing the unsolved disappearance of Lena Chapin. If you're a true crime fan, you've probably watched Unsolved Mysteries for quite a while. The series was recently rebooted on Netflix. And one of the cases covered is the disappearance of Lena Chapin, a woman who claimed her mother had killed her own husband and then ended up going missing several years later when she was issued a subpoena to testify in court. So what exactly happened to her? Has she ever been found? And where is her mother, Sandy Klemp, now? Lena Chapin, also known as, forgive me for saying this wrong, Lena Mae Chapin, disappeared in 2006 in Dent County, Missouri. 3 years after making the shocking allegation that she helped her mother, Sandra Klemp, kill her stepfather and her mother, third husband, Gary McCullough, in 1999. Lena told Gary's brother, Albert, that Sandy had killed Gary and burned his body. She was forced to help dispose of his remains. She would later vanish on Valentine's Day, 2006. Reports say that Chapin confessed to Gary's brother, Albert, in 2003, 3 years after he went missing. According to an account that she gave Albert, quote, he was sitting on the couch, eating scrambled eggs. She walked out and shot him 3 times in the head. 2, maybe 3 times. She couldn't hack it until we got home. She wrapped him up with plastic stuff and hay strings. She dragged him to the bedroom. She locked the door, and we got home. Mom made me stay in the bedroom. She didn't want me to see him, but I'd already seen him because I looked through the door. I didn't believe it, and I wanted to see. Lena then went on to describe how they pulled up carpets and bleached the floors in an effort to get rid of any evidence. Albert recorded Lena's allegation at the time when she was 17 years old. While none of Sandy's daughters, except her, have ever claimed their mother killed Gary, her sister Robin Shoemake said that she remembers her mother and Chris Klemp carrying Gary's body out of the house on the night of May 11th, 1999, the day he disappeared. I know you might be wondering who Chris is. We will come to that shortly, so just hold on. She said, that night, Mom told Lena to make sure that none of us came out of the bedroom. Lena had fallen asleep in front of the door, and even as young as I was, I still remember something wasn't right. And in our room, there was a window, and I saw Mom and Chris struggling, trying to pull something big. I mean, it was Gary, no doubt, but he was wrapped up in something. I mean, you could see the boots that he had on. It scared me. In 2006, Lena went missing, not long after she was issued a subpoena to testify in court following the claims she made against her mother. Her sister Robin went looking for her at her apartment in Missouri and was greeted by her then boyfriend, Jason, who said that her mother, Sandy, had told him that Lena had moved to Florida with another man. Her sister wasn't convinced and says that when she learned her mother was with Lena's baby son, Coulter, she knew her mother had done something. Sandy has never been formally charged in connection with Chapin's case. She and Chris Klemp, who she married shortly after Gary's disappearance, were found liable for his death in a lawsuit filed by his children. Lena Chapin was born Lena Mae Chapin in 1985, but had no use for the complicated spelling of her given name and preferred to go by Lena. Chapin attended Salem High School during the 2001-2002 school year after her family moved to Dent County. Her family included Mom Sandy, stepfather Chris, and 5 sisters. It was Sandy's 4th marriage. She was previously married to Robert Chapin, Albert McCullough, and then his brother Gary. The Klemps lived north of Sligo on Dent County Road 4010 on property owned by Chris's parents. Chapin stood out from the family in preferring the surname of her biological father. Sandy went by Klemp and had Chapin's younger sister's names legally changed to Klemp as well. Lena was a protector of everyone she loved, especially her sisters. Younger sister Jan Decker of Salem wrote in a letter submitted to the Salem News when asked to comment on Lena, "Lena really was the glue that held us together. When all 6 of us plus a stepsister had to share a bedroom, she would crawl across the 3 bunk beds that were lined up in the bedroom and read to me. I'm so glad God gave her to us as a sister. She would walk to my basketball games when we lived in St. Louis. She was the one who was in the bleachers when no one else was." Lena's older sister, Brandy Petersen, who lives in Sullivan, remembers Lena was one of a kind. She said, "I don't think I've met anyone else like Lena. She was smart, she was funny, she was outrageous. She could be sarcastic and blunt and didn't care one bit what other people thought of her. She was the rebel. She was the one who pushed it. She'd smear tomatoes on the glass door when we were supposed to be watching cartoons. But she also loved the scrapbook. She'd spend hours cutting out pictures from her life and adding comments around them with bubbles. Chapin was not a member of any clubs or sports teams while at Salem High School. The only photo of her to appear in a yearbook was with her sophomore class. On July 25th, 2013, Stone County jury voted unanimously at the conclusion of a 4-day trial in Galena that Sandy and Chris Klemp knowingly took Gary McCullough's life. The case was moved from Barry County after the judge granted a change of venue request. The daughters were awarded a total of $7 million. Sandy and Chris were ordered to pay $1 million collectively for taking Gary's life, and $3 million each in punitive damages for the outrageous nature of the crime. With that being said, still her disappearance is one of the most inquired and haunting cases ever dealt with, says the police. This case has created notable discussion in social media, thanks in part to the recent story on Netflix's Unsolved Mysteries. So we'd like to thank you for joining this episode. If you'd like to comment on this case, leave a comment in the comment section below. You can be a part of the show. Send us a voicemail by calling 682-305-0483 and let us know what you think. Thank you and have a great day.